That should be a little bit. Thank you.
I know.
Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. I'd like to remind everyone to please turn your phones down to vibrate. Disposition of prior minute meetings. Have a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes from the meeting of April 4th as written.
Second. Second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay, Russell, our committee. Forgot you, John.
No, Debbie and I were about to.
Oh,
I think that's what Debbie was.
Yes.
I only have one. Okay. Oh. Okay, then the motion would be in order to accept the second set of minutes from bringing our new members onto the board.
I did that one. That was April 4th.
Okay.
Okay, so we need one from the Board of Directors
April
meeting. April 1st?
First. Go ahead.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes from the board meeting on April 1st, 2022 as written. Donna, second.
Any opposed? Carried. Okay. Art committee report. Roll call. Skipped right over. Okay, roll call. Yep. John, did you do the proof of meeting?
Yes, Ed, as per your documents and Florida statute, notice was posted.
Roll call.
Yes, I have Eileen Dunn.
Here.
Donna Mosier. Here. Larry Liskey. Rick Agler.
Here.
Brenda Owens. Barry Burgess.
Here.
Lemay Nyford.
Here.
Ed Weiner.
Here. Okay. Shall we try for the art? No?
Good morning, Russ Rogers for the Art Committee. Oh, is it on? We met on Monday and Tuesday, and we reviewed 26 arcs. We approved 23 and disapproved 3.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the 23 that are recommended for approval.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
And on another note, we went around yesterday to close out some of the outstanding ones, and we found 2 that were flagrantly wrong. One had a very bright red driveway, which isn't allowed. John was already aware of it, I didn't know that. We also found a house that had been painted. The basic color that they said on the act was gonna be opal. It was opal, but then it looked like they took a paintbrush and daubed black all over every brick. So it looks like mold, but it wasn't mold, it's black paint. So I told John, I told the board about, Debbie about this. They're gonna take care of it. That's it for the act.
Hey, Russ, you want to address the 3 that were disapproved?
Okay, one was, they want to put up a 7 by 7 foot shed in the senior outfit, and it's not allowed by the documents.
Has that already been put up?
I have no idea. It shouldn't have been, because we just got the arc.
Well, I move that we disapprove that for the sake of discussion.
There's a picture. Does that picture show a shed there?
No.
No.
It's where it was going to go.
Okay. John?
To answer Eileen's question, I think they submitted the ARC because we issued a violation because we stole the shed on the site.
It should be a
John discovered it, I believe.
Yeah. So what's our requirement for shed size?
I don't have a sheet in front of me, but it's a one you just hang up on the wall and put your shovel in it or your rake. Not a lawnmower.
in the mic, please.
Okay. But it's about this big. Hello.
You have to pull it right to your mouth, Russ. It doesn't come out.
Oh, there we go.
For those of you, this is a shed that has already been put up. John found it. It's a 7 by 7 shed. They put in the ARC. It is not allowed. It has been denied, but it is currently on the property. They will have to remove it.
Okay. Mr. Ed,
Eileen?
they should be fined for this too, right? Well, a deed restriction,
Well, there's no immediate fine. They'd have to go through the process.
they get 30 days.
Well, they'd get a couple warnings, and then the fining process would start. But it has to go through the channels.
Well, and their ARC is late too. Be fined for not submitting an ARC.
There's never a policy
No.
for that.
No.
If something is found that has been done that needs an ARC, they have to present the ARC. The ARC has been denied. Now it can go into letters for violations. And then it would have to go through that process until they get to the point of finding, which is quite a bit of ways from the first letters.
Is this not after the fact though? I thought you're supposed to put the arc in before you put something.
That happens numerous times. And there's never a fine or anything done about it other than that the ARC is approved or disapproved. If it's disapproved, you must remove what you've done
Okay,
or change it.
I just know that we have a $50 fine for people not submitting arcs.
We've never heard of that here.
Okay.
I've never seen it anywhere. If you can find it, that's fine.
Good. I did not hear a second to my motion, so I'd like to amend the motion. My new motion is that I move that we approve the art committee's recommendation and disapprove this application, and so notify the people and that there has to be removed.
I'll second. Second. Brenda, second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next.
The second one is house painting. They picked the color yellow, which isn't acceptable. Too bright. We approved everything but the house color.
Front door needs to
The
be,
gutters, the front door, the trim.
needs to be painted a mellower yellow.
No, it's right here. That's the yellow.
Uh-huh.
I make the motion that we accept the art committee's recommendation and disapprove this application.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next.
The third one is a paint problem. It's not an approved color.
They know about the proof, the colors that they had to choose from?
Good.
Yeah, it's actually on here, and if not using it, it gives you all the directions for the colors.
This is the color they picked.
Motion?
I make a motion that we accept the recommendation of the art committee and deny the application for 11007 Pepper Tree Lane.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
That's it.
Thank you, Russ. Okay, unfinished business. Costa equipment. We talked about establishing a policy concerning the disposal of existing fixtures, furniture, and equipment.
We worked on this at the last meeting when we were talking about the poker tables, and nothing was really finalized on what we were going to do. I would like to make a motion so that we can discuss this and decide what's going on. The motion would be that prior to removal of any and all furniture or fixtures that are being replaced within the senior facilities, notices to be posted to all senior residents who have the opportunity to place a bid, and anything that we have will be auctioned off to the highest bidder.
Second that.
Second? Okay. Before we vote on that, shall we discuss it?
I have, the last item we just did, I heard rumors, and I'll tell you that's exactly what they are. I don't know that we had higher bids for them than we were able to auction off. I'm not sure that this is the way that we really want to go forward. I understand it, but maybe we should table this for another couple of weeks just to think over it. There's another, I apologize for that. That perhaps we should table this until we can consider any other ways that we feel might be needed. I agree with the motion that a policy needs to be stated. But I think maybe we need to look into it further because as I understand, the last time we just did this, that there were some questions of it.
The last time this was mostly brought up because the poker tables, I was questioned by residents of what we were doing and who set the price and how come some people were able to get them and other people were not. We felt this was the fairest way to deal with anything that we have here. And I realized that, yes, at $50, we were getting more for 2 of the tables. That's not the point of this. It's to have everything above board. So everyone can see and have the equal opportunity to bid on it. We got $44 for 4 poker tables. But it was done fairly, and anyone who wanted to bid could come in and bid. So I still think that needs to be done. Everything needs to be above board. We don't need to turn around and find out that, I don't know, Jerry got chairs that were in the lobby and nobody else had a chance, and how did he get them? We need to keep things above board and fair. And we'll talk about that later, Jerry.
Eileen? My question is, what happens to things that might be maintenance, like a tractor or something, truck? Sometimes we want to trade something in, or maybe we might want to sell it because, it may be construction material or a tractor or one of those,
That's something entirely different. I mean, when we're trading in,
well, I just want to know how we differentiate. It doesn't kind of spell it out.
that was never part of it, but
That's,
Well, we can always individually take things up at the board. The board always, it's our rule and we can change it, or if we got something special, we can handle it that way. I would like to perhaps see into this, that maybe these people could give us written bids along with the verbal, because if somebody can't be here Monday at 9 o'clock or something, they could have maybe given us a written bid for the $50 or something like that. It might expand what you're thinking of and make it even more fair, if that's a proper term.
I'm open to that.
I don't think that was ever a problem. I mean, the people that weren't here, this is put on the website, on the Timber Oaks website, so anyone, even if they're not here, can put in a bid. They don't have to be here. They'll put in their highest or lowest or however they want to do that.
And it was put on the website in the paper and posted in the clubhouse. So, I mean, there was plenty of notice, and we put it a month away so everybody could.
Yeah, what is done, and I think it was done as fair as possible. And I'm just trying to, perhaps we learned a little lesson or two that maybe we can incorporate. That's all.
Who will make the decision if we're putting an air conditioner up for bid or any of our tools, or any of those type of items? The board? Okay.
Okay, any other board members discussion?
We've had a generator in the past and, things like that we've had to dispose of. I think we've sold them rather than bid them.
Okay, we'll open it up to the floor. First in line.
Good morning, Carl Feinberg from Footprint Link. First of all, to clarify what LeMay said about the price of the $50, how that all started was, and I could be wrong, in January when this was first brought up, the board made a motion and told John to get rid of the tables. And that's what the board decided. So John decided to get rid of the tables. And there was a discussion amongst 5 people that the one person said to John, I'd like to buy one of the tables. And John said, how much? The person said $50. And John said, okay, fine. We'll just get rid of it for $50. And somebody else wanted another table for $50. That's when the problem came up, when somebody else wanted one of the tables and wasn't informed that they were for sale. Okay, and that's my clarification of how the $50 became. Second of all, personally, we as residents, if I'm wrong, again, tell me, we own everything that's in Timber Oaks. We help pay for it with our HOA fees. I don't feel it's right that we should have to bid on something that's being disposed of by the board or by Timber Oaks. What I suggest is that if you have something that's going to be disposed of, put a bucket together, and if people want a part of it, put their name in a hat and draw the name. I don't think we should have to pay a second time for something that we're going to get rid of because we're buying something else. That's just my opinion.
Dale Thompson had cheated jive. He took half of my story, but yeah, it's too long to go back and look at meetings. But, you know, I'm basically here at every one if I can be. And what he just said was right. The second thing, I didn't even hear the rumors about a problem with the tables. My latest problem that people are having were the umbrellas that were they going to be thrown out? Were people going to be allowed to take them? And I agree, we did buy them with our money, so you shouldn't have to pay again. There needs to be a different way for people to let you know if they want it. And I still say it should be, there's too many people that do not come to meetings and then bitch and moan because somebody else didn't let them know what was going on. I have like a list of people when I get home that want to know what goes on. You probably all know everybody waits for Ellie's minutes. If they don't come to the meeting, I don't think they even deserve a chance at them. Whoever is here are the ones that should have a chance. If you want to do it fair and do it at the next meeting, then that's what you do. Announce, we will be doing a raffle for the leftover umbrellas or the leftover tractor or whatever it can be. But people need to come to these meetings that don't want to be left out of stuff. I know there's some old people, I know there's people that aren't on the internet, but there's ways of finding out what's going on, including the Timber Times. If they leave it in their mailbox or they throw it in the garbage, that's their fault. If they don't know what's going on, they need to find out what's going on.
Thank you, Dale. Do we want to vote on this policy, or do we want to table it and go later? It's up for the vote now.
I withdraw my request. Table.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the policy that has been read. Call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. They read the policy at the beginning.
I will read it again.
Read it again.
Prior to removal of any and all furniture or fixtures that are being replaced within the senior facilities, notice is to be posted to all senior residents who have the opportunity to bid or place a bid for the items. No purchase or donation is required.
Could be zero, right?
Poker tables, we started with a $50 bid. We had basically two people who wanted tables. Nobody bid $50. It started off at what?
40.
$40. Went down. We ended up selling one table for $22, one got $22, $20, and then $2 for two of the other tables. So, and the idea is not to make money. The idea is to make it fair for everyone, that everyone has an equal chance to get them.
Yay. Bulk communication contract.
So, Ed, at this board, the previous board rather, not some of the board members here don't have any information on the subject, but the previous board has talked to two different vendors, one being Spectrum, the second being Blue Stream, and you've received proposals from both of those vendors. Both of those vendors are now aware that there's been an HOA election with new board members, and both of those vendors would like to schedule meetings to discuss their proposals with the entire board.
Okay, is the board in favor of meeting with these vendors? Is the board in favor of meeting with these vendors?
I am.
All in favor? Say
I have
aye.
a comment
Aye.
first. I have a comment. I'm not really in favor of meeting with Spectrum unless they've changed their proposal to include the opt-out part. I didn't see that in the stuff.
I think we have to look at Spectrum a little more because the whole thing with, I think almost every member of the board does not want Spectrum unless they offer us the opt-out. They kind of gave us a excuse my language, half-ass offer of that. But it's also their goal is to get to 100%, and I don't think any of us agree with that. So unless they're willing to give us the opt-out, I don't see a reason to meet with them. And it also kind of upsets me that until, for those of you who don't know, we have another company that came in called Bluestream, which is a fiber optic. Much better options. Opt-out is in from the beginning. So that if you don't want it, you don't have to take it. And not until Spectrum, until Spectrum found out we were going with someone else, there was no attempts to meet with us or do anything to help us with what we wanted. So now they're offering us all kinds of things.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm still talking, Eileen. Anyway, now they're offering us all kinds of things that they weren't offering us before, which is nice, but it took someone in competition with them before they even came to us. They're offering contracts to condos that have 66 buildings in them for much less, and at 100%, 66 buildings, they couldn't come down from that for I'm sorry, I have no desire to meet with them at this point.
Go ahead, Rich. Yes, at this point, I vote no on everything because I don't know anything. And I'm not going to prove something. I think everybody heard, I think every single person running for the board stated that unless we have an opt-out where, certain people don't have to take it, that we were not for it. But at this point, I also think we should go forward to listen to these options, even though, it may be a small chance of doing it, but I think we should at least listen to it. Thank you.
Quiet, please, in the audience. Eileen?
Okay, they have asked to meet with us. I don't know if the whole board has met with them face to face, but I know when you meet with people face to face, it's much easier to negotiate with them than over the phone and through emails. You have gotten a little further with them. I think if we met face to face and they saw that this board firmly stands for an opt-out, and that's our final with them, that we may get what we want. I think you have to at least sit and talk to them, and then we have new board members that haven't been in on this from the get-go. Quite a few of you have, so y'all know what has been going back and forth that new members are not privy to. We've seen some emails that have been sent to us. So I think it's kind of important to just sit down, see what they have to say, and let them hear what we have to say. And it also gives you leverage with any other companies we're dealing with, saying that we've spoken to them face to face.
Okay, thank you, Eileen. Bev?
Really hasty.
Wait a minute. Barry?
I think what I've heard the community say is if there's not an opt-out, they don't want it. And for us to meet with them without that clause in there, is a waste of everyone's time.
I think what Eileen is suggesting is that new board members have no idea what has been offered. I'm willing to meet if it's an informational meeting. I do think you should meet with Bluestream and see what they're offering. Just so that you're aware of what is available and what we can do. I don't think it's fair that new board members do not have all the information. So I will go with whatever is decided.
Thank you. Beverly Hasty, 8701 Benton Drive. I would like to see Bluestream come in for a meeting with the residents so that they can hear what they have to say. I was in on the beginning of it and they seem like a really good company. So that's what I would like to see.
Ellie, there's someone in line.
I had a question for Beth. Paul Toms, Lakeside Drive. I've had Frontier for many years. I've had it since I moved in here. This table is like a moot point right now. I think most people are going to be getting streaming, where all you have to have is the streaming. Cut off $100, you don't need boxes. I called Frontier to change from cable to streaming. They informed me that I didn't have to return my boxes. That's simply telling me that streaming is coming in. So all this is a lot of baloney. I like Frontier. I've had no trouble with them. And all I have is streaming now. It costs me $95 a month. That's it. So they should be considered. I don't even know why you have to have a contract. Why have a contract? Let's just people get what they want. Thank you.
May I would like to answer that. With the contracts that we're talking, with the people that we are talking about, if you want Frontier, you may get them. You may also listen to what they're saying, and maybe you're going to decide that that is something you are interested in. It's the new way of going with the fiber optics. So it's up to you. There are no boxes. This is not something that will come in and happen overnight. They bring all their own materials in. We're just saying, listen, it doesn't mean you have to take it. But there is an opportunity for those of us who want something better than what we have to take it if we want it. That's all we're doing is offering it. You have to know that you get discounts with bulk contracts. The more of us that do something, the cheaper it will be. This is what is being offered. That's all.
Can they be $95 a month?
Absolutely, they can.
They can.
Yes.
For streaming?
Yeah.
I have to agree with I don't know a lot about streaming, et cetera. And however, on my site, many of the younger people moving in now don't even use cable. They keep talking about that everybody is satisfied with what, I don't understand why the board is so intent on pushing this. Why don't you just drop the whole thing and let people be happy? You know? Why? Because you think you're going to save people money? Is that it?
Yes, you have the opportunity to save money. That's our job, to offer you what we can in bulk contracts. Don't shake your head no. You elected us to look at things to make it better. You do not have to take this. We sat here and were yelled at, and I won't even say what all was done here, but I will tell you this. No one up here disrespected anyone down there. No one said they were voting for Spectrum. All right, I'm not saying it wasn't done. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. But this is not something, and your biggest complaint at that time was, well, we don't have an opt-out and we're not doing this. We didn't take the unless it had an opt-out. No one said we were taking it. You all assumed that the people you elected and trusted to sit up here were just going to go against everything anyone wanted. You did not give us a chance to even answer what was going on. So if we offer you something, you don't have to take it. And it's a much better deal than what you have now. I will say that much. At least give them the opportunity. Bluestream will meet with the board. They will also have town meetings. They will do mailings. They will answer your questions. Give it a chance.
Well, I know you said we elected you to save us money. I'm not so sure that would be the
Ellie,
case.
just a minute. You don't have the floor.
Oh, all right, Brenda, and yeah, make sure you're talking to that mic, okay? Because with that mask on, I
Ellie,
can't.
please.
All right,
Okay, so even if you're streaming, you still have to pay a provider in order to stream. So this provider is going to give us a really good deal, and everyone would be able to stream. You don't want to stream, they also give you a really good deal on TV. And so I think it behooves us to listen to what they have to say and to really understand what the contract is all about.
Doesn't hurt for you to meet with them all and offer it to us, but you get the reaction from everybody.
Ellie, you do not have the floor. You have not been recognized.
Goodbye.
I just,
Eileen,
excuse me, this is some. Okay. I think what people are trying to do here is to look at programs that will have an opt-out. So I think you guys are putting the cart before the horse. I know everybody, that's what people here are saying they want. They want a choice. And I think the board is trying to work at giving you that. So I think it's going to take time. Nothing's happening here overnight. That's for sure.
okay. Chrissy,
I'm here on behalf of the condos that have all made agreements 3 years ago. We're paying 26 a month with no percent increase, and we get all our basics. If we want something else, we pay for it. And again, we made this agreement, they have not raised the price from $26 that we incorporated into our monthly condo fees. And we're very happy with it because we have a group number. So if we have a problem, we call there. I've had to use it twice and boom, overnight it was fixed.
can you tell me which condos you represent? Because they're not all the same.
Exactly. I'm in Fairway 2, so I know the price on Fairway 2 is $26. Right, Fairway 1 through 5. I didn't know if you all had the same contract or same agreement, because we don't have a contract. But the main thing is, we like not having a contract because they have not upped the price at all, and everything has been just fine. Anyhow, my point is, none of the condos that have agreements are in favor of being included.
You don't have to be included.
Right, so, but if we have an opt-out, are we talking every individual has to opt out? Or can we do it by group?
The condos can opt out.
Okay, great. Because that would get into a bigger issue on, we understand why we pay the $50. We get the use of the clubhouse and all the amenities. But when we end up taking decisions, since you're under a different Florida statute than we are, under 720, you can't make internal decisions for 718. And we're under 718. So that was why I was asked to speak also. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Dale Thompson, Hachita Drive. This is gonna probably come a little strange to a lot of you, but I have been sticking up for the old board since this whole thing started, because it frustrates me to hear everybody assuming that the board was going to go against the residents and vote yes. More people will come to a meeting over this than anything else, which we already know. My whole thing is, this has been going on for months. You never turned around and let us down by taking it. You're still trying to decide whether to take it. You are interviewing other companies. And if there is an opt-out, I don't see why anybody should care. I myself only pay $72 a month. I've got all the channels that I want. I've got my internet. Right now, as a lot of people know, I may be selling my house. I'm looking for any way I can to save some money and not be house poor. If you can find me a better deal, I'm all for it, but I would not vote for it knowing that other people would have to take it that do not want it. That's my thing right there. But with this new company, the thing that does worry me a little bit is I never heard of them before. How long have they been in business? Can you find some other people that have them to know that you do get a good picture, that it doesn't go out during the storms and all the kind of stuff that we could get screwed up with down the road if we take a new company that we don't really know that much about? Are they gonna raise their price after? I mean, there's things now that you need to make sure before you present it to the residents.
Those are questions that can be asked at the general meeting.
Yes,
When
but
they're in here to answer them.
well, that's
Okay.
why and I said it all along, you should have had them come here.
So we
so-
have to go through the procedure to agree to.
I
get
know,
them
I'm
to-
going
That's
back
what
to
we're trying
my,
to do.
yes, but in the beginning, it wasn't. The board set up there, even though I stuck up for them through this whole thing, there was times when they said, we don't even have to listen to you, we can just do what we want. And that aggravated a lot of people. So that's where the problem came in. If you have them come and discuss it and everybody gets to say, okay, is this gonna be for 5 years guaranteed? Can we get out if we don't like it? Things like that. This is what the residents wanna know they will be able to do.
Thank you. And, oh, Donna.
Back to what you were saying, Dale, too. When Blue Stream sent us this package, they also sent us other places that have used them for references. And I've gone back and checked a lot of those references and they are very good. So, you know, it's not like they're just coming in here saying, we're here. So they've sent us other places that's using it.
Okay, Ann?
Hello, Singo 14116. When we elected the directors for the board, we elected you with the responsibility of being fiscally responsible for property owned by Timber Oaks, the amenities, equipment, not what goes into our homes. You know, I don't see the board members come into my house once a week with grocery ads telling me which is the best deals to save me money. You know, I'm trying not to be sarcastic here, but because cable is becoming obsolete, we stream most everything that we watch. And you don't need a cable company in order to stream. You can do it off your phone. You don't need internet for your phone. I mean, you don't carry your internet with you when you're traveling down the highway and getting on your cell phone. Cable is becoming obsolete. I appreciate the fact that you are looking into an opt-out, but I really think that if you enter into any contract at the following meeting, a motion can be made at a second by residents, and the majority present can eliminate that contract. It's kind of mute that you're even doing it, and that is according to state statute.
Why is this argument even going on? This is something that is being offered. You don't want it, don't take it. You want to stream, stream. You want to go with Blue Stream? Fine, do it. Do whatever you want. This is an opportunity to save money on new technology that is coming in that you may take or not take. We are not forcing you. We are not going into your home. You decide. So we are talking again, stuff that is mute. We are not taking anything unless you have the choice of putting it in your home. Period.
Rob Sipneski, 10539 Farnham Court. Ann's already said it. I just wanted to confirm there is another way to access the internet, and that's through phone streaming. I do it all the time. I am a seasonal resident, and I just access my phone and I can stream and put all the information on my television or laptop. The other thing I wanted to say in reference to what you just said, LeMay, and I do agree with you, One of the problems, I think, there's a lot of pushback on this right now, is because this is festered since before October. I can remember debating this with Sue Muniak on here when I first became aware of it. And it's just been clouded and things weren't done. And to be honest with you, I don't think the community was really updated. We were told that we're looking at proposals, we're looking at this, and that's why you have the pushback right now. LeMay, I think what you've offered personally looks very good. If there's an opt-out in it, it satisfies almost all the residents who are behind me. All they wanted was to opt out of this proposal that was originally offered by Spectrum. So with that, thank you.
Thank you.
Kathy Horniak, I'm Antigua Court in the Capri One. And I'm a snowbird, and we have Spectrum in our condo association. Oh, can I go? I'm Kathy Horniak from Antigua Court in the Capri One. We have Spectrum on our contract in Capri One, and it's something that we don't have an option not to take out because when we're up north, we had to pay for it. But on our road crew, we've discovered that there is a Spectrum offer in Massachusetts. Maybe it's all over the United States, I don't know, but we get Spectrum up in Massachusetts, and it took $100 off our regular bill, so we get our cable television up in Massachusetts from Florida. So it's a hidden benefit, and if you just get a plug-in Roku, because our television wasn't that smart, but that Roku we travel with works great, so it's a savings. Good to know. Thank you for everything you do. You're doing a great job.
John Way, 11245 Rollingwood Drive. I'm kind of baffled that we're going to continue to go down this path. I don't really understand why you would want to pick Blue Stream when we could pick them ourselves. So why do you want to continue down this path? So there's only one thing that could be causing that. What do you get for that? It took you a while to figure out that you needed to tell us that you were going to get some money from Spectrum if we all joined in. So why would you continue to do this if we can pick Blue Stream ourselves? I've got a Frontier box that was installed on my property without my permission. Frontier was never invited. So if Frontier is out, will they come take out the box that you had them put in? This is a huge thing in my front yard, and they've never been here. I don't understand why you continue to go down the path when we can get it ourselves. And is there anything in it for the board or the HOA?
I would like to answer that. Blue Stream is not available individually. None of you will get it. Unless it's brought in and they put their own equipment in, you are not going to get it. It's fiber optics. It's not affected by lightning strikes as cable is. It's completely different. They suggested a town meeting where they will come in and they will explain to you anything, answer any questions you have. So if you want to ask questions, and the other thing, Verizon has offered us nothing. If you want to go with Verizon, go with it. Because they keep talking about Verizon. Verizon has nothing to offer us. You want to go with them individually. You're able to do that. Same with Spectrum. You don't want to go with them, or you do want to go with them, that's up to you. But if we don't pick a bulk package with Spectrum, you will get no breaks.
Gary?
Gary Beers, Monterey, 3326. I just want to thank this board and the former board for doing some research and trying to find things that make some people's life better. Thank you.
John Lee again, 11245 Rollingwood Drive. Nobody answered the question, is there any money in it for the board or anything else from Blue Wave?
I will answer that question. There was never any money in it for the board. There was never any kickbacks. Any money that would come in would go into Timber Oaks. I don't even remember if Blue Stream is offering anything. I don't believe they are. Spectrum was. It did not come to the board. We did not get 1 cent.
I'm not saying it came to the board. It was, it was never brought out that that Timber Oaks was gonna get 200,000.
Yes, it was. From the start.
So the question is now, is that, let's see the contract that you have from Bluewood. Do you have it?
Fine. If the board meets and they say we're gonna go through with this or present it to you, they will come in, they will answer your questions. They will answer any question you have. I have the answer to a lot of these questions. Most of you put on Facebook, you don't believe a word I say, so listen to them and they will answer the questions for you.
Well, personally, I would like to see the contract that you have been looking at.
We don't have a contract.
We don't have a contract.
No, you already said what you were looking at.
We're looking at what they're offering us. There is no contract. Nothing has been signed. We're in the beginning of this. We keep saying this.
And we would like to look at it also.
Your 2 minutes are up.
Rick, this prior board and this board has so far not seen anything satisfactory enough to even bring before for a vote. And I have faith in that they're going along the lines that almost everybody's talking about. But I also feel that, every condo, a lot of the condos have done this. So, let's at least just investigate and find out. As I told you, my feeling, I'm pretty much against it. It's going to take a lot to make me switch over. And part of that would be, selection and all that. So I think this board's looking at it. Let's move on with stuff here. Okay.
Okay, at this time, a motion would be in order to set up a meeting with Blue Stream and Spectrum to see their offers.
Let's do this individually. In case someone does not want to meet with Spectrum or does not want to meet with Blue Stream. Can we do it individually? Okay.
I'll make a motion that we meet with Blue Stream.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
I'll make the motion that we meet with Spectrum for information.
I'll second for discussion.
all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
How many nays? Call for a roll call.
I have Eileen Dunn. Eileen, would you like to meet with Spectrum?
Yes. Said aye.
Yes. Donna Mosier?
No.
Rick Agler?
Yes.
Brenda Owens?
No.
Barry Burgess?
No.
Lemay Nyford?
No.
Mr. Ed Wayner?
Yes.
Motion failed.
Motion failed. Okay, so we will not meet with Spectrum, we will meet with Blue Stream. Okay, moving on. New business. Board meeting dates.
I make a motion that we accept the schedule of meeting dates given to us from May 6, 2022. I'm used to being an old infantry colonel, don't need it, but anyway, go with it. That we adopt the schedule of meetings and holidays given to us, the draft that goes through Friday, May 6, 2022 through April 19th, 2023.
Second for discussion.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Eileen?
Maybe for Debbie. Are we able, with using a schedule, were we able to take care of the ARCs? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Brenda?
And at one time, we were going to discuss having only one meeting in the summer. Is that on here?
We did cancel July 1st because of 4th of July weekend. July 1st is canceled. August 5th is canceled. Those are the only two canceled at this point. And September was moved to the 9th from the Labor Day weekend. Any other discussion? Call for the vote. All those in favor of the schedule as handed out? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, next. Foreclosure referral. Fines and suspension. Have a lien foreclosure. Don, you want to address this?
So the Macon Law Group has suggested that we proceed with the foreclosure process on this one address.
Any questions?
I have a question. John, how sellable is this house?
I don't know, I don't have any firsthand information on this home.
Has anyone looked at this home? How sellable? I mean, could be stuck with.
I don't think with what we are finding and the lien we are putting against this, that you were ever gonna sell the house for less than what we are doing. You could sell a house for $20,000 and we would get our money out of it. So whether it's saleable or not, right now, any house is saleable.
Well, we have to put up money to do this right, to get our money back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rick?
A little fuzzy missing there. I think her question is, is there a mortgage, an upside down mortgage or anything like that? Have we done any checking into that? It is, I would think that we probably will go forward with this at some point. I'm not sure we're at that point or whether we need to just a little bit more investigation or not.
Well, this is at the recommendation of the attorneys who have done that research.
Right, but the attorneys don't tell us, at least not in the letter that I've seen, of proprietary loans that are I can't say that word, proprietary. Jerry, say the word for it. Anyway,
Prioritize?
that's it. Ahead of ours, such as a mortgage or prior judgments or stuff. I think it's a good question. I can't imagine that we wouldn't, if we ended up buying it. I doubt that we will. I think somebody else will.
If we're going to look into all this, then right now, we are following our regulations that were put up by the board and the steps that we take. This was finally done, and we are finally doing something about the homes everyone has complained about. So if we stop at this point because we're going to look into this or that, this is not a ridiculous amount of money. Most of these homes, if we foreclose before the bank forecloses, which is what has been happening in, I would say, probably 98% of the cases, if not all of them, then our lien goes before anyone else.
Oh, that's not correct.
Okay. John?
I doubt that that's correct. I cannot state a legal opinion, but I doubt that that's correct. A bank, through recording its mortgage, normally has be ahead of it.
But the other thing is, do we stop now and not do anything about all these homes that are sitting here? This is our procedure at this point. So unless you want to change the procedures, these need to go forward.
No, I think you are correct. Okay, I think you probably should go ahead.
Don?
So this suggestion from the attorney is following the process that a previous board, I think when Jerry was president, met with the attorneys, asked all the questions that you're asking now, and asked the attorney not to propose it to the board for the foreclosure process unless it meets some of the criteria set forth at that previous board direction. And it's not about selling the home so much. This is my opinion from talking to the attorneys and with those board questions. It's more about the board doing their fiduciary duty and not losing the opportunity to try to collect those outstanding funds.
Question. Also, as most of you know, I'm into real estate quite a bit. And we're at a high in the market. And that gives me great confidence that there will be a buyer other than us. And that there will be in excess of what the mortgage is, that will be paid. Okay, so I'm for the management motion. Thank you.
Okay, is there any other discussion on the board?
For the motion you're going to make.
Make the motion.
I move to find the owner of 11401 Winwood Place. $50 a day.
That's
Oh,
already went past.
I'm sorry. Lien foreclosure of 11401 Winwood Place for,
Recommended by the attorney.
As recommended.
as recommended by our law group.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion passed. Okay. Fines and suspension.
I move to find the owner of 8340 Elgin Drive, $50 a day for rubbish and outside storage, trash, and/or trash receptacles. It is in violation of Texas covenants up to the amount of $5,000.
Second.
Call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I move to find the owner of 10717 Mira Vista Drive for maintenance issues on the property in violation of Texas covenants up to the amount of $5,000.
Second. And that's, did you say $50 a day?
Yeah.
There's a rental in
Okay,
there.
I was looking at this address. Yeah.
Don't look at this one.
Here.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I move to find the owner of 11015 Rollingwood Drive for maintenance issues on that property, which is in violation of Texas covenants up to the amount of $5,000.
All those in favor, say aye.
I'll second.
Opposed? Carried. All right. Next on the agenda. Pool furniture, purchase of new furniture.
Our last board, actually at this time, it was suggested that it was time to replace all the pool furniture. After discussion, some of the board members, Ed and I, Jennifer included, decided that we would need to replace or add on to what furniture we have out there, since tables had broken from umbrellas being left open, which is still happening. The umbrellas get picked up by the wind and drop, break the tables. Small tables were broken or we didn't have enough of them. At any rate, and where we took the planters out where the new pavers were put in, it left empty spots. We were first going to put plants in there. We decided to add tables to that area. We didn't have enough, plus those that were broken. Jennifer and Ed and I, Jennifer Smiley, I'm sorry, former board member, Ed and I went out. We inventoried what we had out there and we went to Pasco Furniture to order the furniture. We were able to order most of the furniture. We were not able to get any tables at all, none of the round dining tables, and we could not get any of the smaller tables. We put off getting some of the chairs because without the tables, there was no need to just have chairs sitting out there. So we're now going to have most of the lounge chairs along the top. There are some tables that will be put in. Most of the tables will be down below only because that's where you're allowed to eat. And we find that most people want the lounge chairs up on the top. They're constantly being moved. We don't have enough. So we're suggesting I don't have the complete paper. It's in the office. Anyway, we ordered 18 of the small tables to be put out and put like every other one for the lounge chairs. 4 more lounge chairs, 7 chairs for the dining tables, 2 dining tables, which will be put up here, which in the summertime, people do use those a lot because it's the only place that gets shade from the sun during the day. And you have a lot of people there. We are asking that the board approve the purchase of this material. I do not at this point
Roughly.
we did.
You know roughly how much?
You don't have it?
No, I have prior list. I don't have the new list.
What's the price?
It was around $5,000.
Oh, why don't we
I'm
just,
sorry, I
why
thought.
don't we just make a motion for approve it up to $5,000?
That's fine. Would that work?
I so move.
Eileen, a question on this. Are the tables just because I know you could order the tops separate from the legs. Are the tables legs and the tops?
Yes, they are.
So the legs weren't in good shape nor the
No,
tops?
they were-
Or these brand new?
These are
These are new.
Okay. And the lounge chairs, of course, are brand new.
Yes, and they're the higher
Everything's
ones.
new.
They
And then-
will adjust them for us.
And the other ones are just those little side tables?
Yes.
That go between the lounge chairs.
So we should have something like about 27 lounge chairs?
Altogether?
There was at one point 21 for the old ones.
I'm not sure how many.
We don't.
It
We
included.
just added 2.
We added 2 only because when we moved the tables down, and then within like 4 or 5 days, lounge chairs went from the line, moved down below because there were only 4 down there to begin with. So we added, they walked down below.
Okay, we used to have 21 lounge
There might,
chairs,
yeah,
but I
there
don't
might
know
be
if any have
21.
broken
Some of those
since.
have broken. The reason we couldn't get the furniture is the resin was not available for the tables. The factory had actually closed because they could not get the resin. Of course, now they can get the resin and the wood used, and the price has gone up.
Have they been delivered yet?
No.
Not yet?
No, and they will
Okay.
be delivered free. Pasco always does it.
Okay.
Is there a second to the motion? If not, I second.
When do we expect delivery?
6
6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
About 6 weeks till we could get them.
Thank you.
Is there a second on the motion? Any more discussion? Rick?
I know you can't hear me, so I'll go.
The reason that I so readily do this is that we're a community that really is known to be a social community. And we lost our golf course. That was through no fault of anybody here or involved. It's just, that was a private thing. We don't have that as an attraction. So this past board quite rightly did the pool, because we gotta really, and this is gonna apply to this bocce too when we come up, we really gotta take care of our stuff and put on as good face as we can and take really good care of. So I readily approve of these for additional new furniture to replace old furniture and stuff. We can't keep you looking shabby at all. We need to be proud of what we are, Timber Oaks. Thank you.
Call for the vote. Curious George and Cheetah Drive. I'm just wondering, when, I remember when we went all through this with the furniture before and with Eileen. How many years ago was that we replaced the furniture?
We're not replacing, we're just.
You're getting new
Supplementing.
tables and chairs and umbrellas.
We're supplementing because we had a couple broken ones.
Well, this was going to be my second question. Do we have to keep getting glass tables if you know that the umbrellas are gonna keep breaking them?
They're not resin tables.
They're fiberglass roofs.
Yeah, but they've been breaking, right? They don't make anything else that wouldn't break when you leave
They
the
don't make,
umbrellas up?
they don't make Tupperware tables still.
Well, that's kind of.
No, honestly, there's no table you can get that's not breakable. And these.
For the price, this is our best.
And these would last and not be a problem, except people leave the umbrellas open. You know the winds here. I came up one night for ping pong and went out there in a storm and closed umbrellas and lifted tables that had blown over from the upper deck to the lower deck because it lifts those umbrellas up and takes the table over sideways, cracks the finishes around the edges, breaks the legs.
All right, just a suggestion. If I was here and I was going home, say, 4 or 5 o'clock, if the sun is still bright, I'm gonna think, well, there's no sense shutting it, somebody else may come. Why don't you try to maybe figure out a certain time of the day where you know people aren't gonna need these tables and say, please shut the tables. That way, if I see a table up and I'm leaving, I would go and shut it.
We have tried that. We put signs on every umbrella.
You open them, shut them.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you don't know how to close it, don't open it. I mean, it doesn't matter. People walk away and leave them. And you don't leave them because it's early in the day and someone else might use it. If you use an umbrella and you leave, close the umbrella.
Even if the sun is bright.
Yeah, simple.
All right, do we have a sign saying that out there anywhere? I mean, it should be common sense, I would think.
On every umbrella.
Oh, for heaven's sake, I don't sit at the tables with umbrellas, so.
You know what? It does work, the signs. I mean, sometimes the signs fall off or things like that.
And I will also ask anyone here, if you see an umbrella up, just close it. You know, we walk around, we leave the pool area, we walk around and close umbrellas.
Good. You're talking to my.
Is it better?
Yeah.
I don't want to touch it with my mouth.
Yeah, I know.
John Jarvis, 11504 Forest Run. Question. You spend a lot of money on pool room, redoing floors, and other amenities, which is great. My question is, when are you gonna do something about the gym? I like to work out, I have to pay to go to.
That's not what we're talking about right now.
I understand, but what do I have to do to bring this up at the meeting? Because you spend thousands of dollars and that gym the equipment's broken for months.
You're out of order right now. When we get to that on the agenda, please address.
There is a point when you can bring up what you want. Thank you.
It's been moved and seconded to replace. It's been moved and seconded. Vote for the pool furniture replacements and extensions, whatever. We will now call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion passed. And next. Inspections. Criteria for deed restriction inspections?
Where is?
Who put this on the agenda?
I forget which board member asked for this to be an agenda item, but there was some back and forth email chatter about this subject. And someone asked for it to be on.
Anyone?
Does anyone know what it's about? Deed restriction inspection?
Yeah, we were talking about what we're looking for and what constitutes a violation and what our inspection person should be focused on, things of that nature.
There was some question about how bad does the grass have to be before it's a violation.
Okay. No one seems to know. Can we table?
We'll table that for now.
Yeah.
Bocce courts.
Talk on that? I asked that this be put on the agenda. We have had complaints about the bocce court, and I know that We spoke to the gentleman who takes care of setting up the leagues and everything and went out and inspected it. This is Rich, who was at the mic and ready to go. The bocce course was done 5 years?
A year ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, and, 90 screwed us, plain English.
Ed,
One moment, let him.
no, one moment on the board member.
We first
Okay,
went
Eileen,
to,
what do you want to
Yes,
make?
I'd like to make a motion that we have John look into the bocce court for us.
We've already looked at.
We have a second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Okay. Rich, would you give us your information?
Yeah, I think you got a copy of, one of the companies.
Quote from
I'm
Gulf
gonna
Coast
bring up.
Sports?
I'm gonna bring, yeah, that. You want me to bring this up?
Debbie, would you hand him the mic so he can hold on?
I'm locked off. Okay.
Wait, they will get past Eileen.
This is Richard.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Go ahead, Rich.
A couple of weeks ago, I know I met you at the bocce courts and you see the condition that they're in. 3 years they've never made a actual artificial turf for a bocce court. What they've been using is stuff that's put on a putting green. So it's so thin that it just won't take the abuse. After I heard of the 16,500 proposal, I says, no, that's got to be really ridiculous. So after I saw yours, I did reach out to a bunch of companies, and you've got a copy of a couple of them. The one that really stands out is a local company, Gulf Coast Sports. The thicker one is from him. That is actually made for heavy use and for bocce court, the thicker one. The other one is from that other company, which I don't think they know too much about installing and everything bocce courts. There is a proposal there too, you have.
Is that from Turf Pro?
Yes. They're a Tampa company. And I spoke to them on the phone and everything, and they're not very knowledgeable, I don't think, of putting them in. So to go back to Gulf Coast Sports, I met with the owner this past Saturday, and he came right to the bocce courts. He saw the bocce courts. He came with a piece of that, what they're actually going to put down. They've been in business since 2007. He's done a lot of bocce courts. The thicker one that you have there is what they use. And as it's stated on the papers you got in the proposal, he told me that this thing should last 10 plus years. We were lucky to get 4 out of a brook, only because they've never put that thick backing on it.
Can I ask just a little question there?
Go ahead.
My understanding that people tossing the ball in the air is what's been causing these problems.
They really don't toss it in the air, but when you throw a ball, a lot of them don't bend down. So when you drop it, it's going to drop 3 or 4 feet. And there's an area right in the beginning that it hits. So everybody is doing the same thing. But even so, that rug, the last rug they put down was a joke. It didn't even last 2 years.
So that was bad news. So this company, as I stated, you see his comments, and he's got a 15-year warranty on that rug right from the manufacturer. Plus, he's adding 3 years, if you look at the proposal. It's $10,450. Now, I've spoken to several companies on that, and he was very knowledgeable when he came down like that.
Rich,
Yes,
the samples that we're looking at, which one is the
The thicker
preferred? The one with the black backing or the one with the light color?
the light color back and the thicker one.
The black?
That's his comfortable.
I can't-
It's the thicker one.
The one with
It's
the
like,
light,
it's about almost 3/4 of an inch thick.
the light colored backing.
Yes.
Yes, the light color
Thank
back.
That's the one that.
That's what they use.
That's the one we're talking
He's
about.
built, yes, he's built numerous bocce courts. That's what they use, and he's told me that they've gotten 10+ years out of that material on bocce courts.
And when we had the 5-year warranty one going back sometime before this
Well,
last
that-
one, people dropped the ball and that one happened to last us quite a while.
The
Before,
last one, didn't you know,
before this one.
the last one got 4 years out of it, but that was.
That was before this one.
Yeah.
That people dropped the
But
ball.
they never, no company's ever given us more than a year.
And that one did last.
This company is willing to give us 3 years, plus the 15 years on the rug itself from the manufacturer.
So that one's a 15-year, the like the thicker one?
He's telling me that he's built a number of them. If you go on his website, and he came down with pictures. You'll see all the courts that he's built in the different communities, even in private, for private.
Rich,
Go ahead, Rick.
did you go and look at any of his other courts?
No,
Is this the one where they put something underneath it? Does this have a coating, not just the rug itself? But I think, John, weren't we talking about some kind of coating or polyurethane backing that's put to level off?
that's what's on that. Yeah, that thick the rubber, but that light gray. Usually we get it without that. That's how thin they are. That's why this thing was specially made for heavy traffic, and he's on a lot of communities.
I especially like the fact that there is finally a guarantee or warranty on some of this.
Yeah.
And I think the last company that we used got out of that by putting in, they put